Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second production of the Intermission Drama Club of the Year, Antigone. Welcome. So I'd like to introduce to you the co-director of Antigone, my good friend, Jackie Davis, Boston, and director and local actor director extraordinaire who comes to us as a teaching fellow through our association with Trinity Repertory Company, our state theater. So we have so much to say and so little time in which to say it, and I don't want anyone to get overlooked, but you know how that goes. But to start with, I just would love to thank, as always, the parent committee who have absolutely been so amazing. In particular, this time around, I would love to put a very, very strong shout out to the executive director of our parent committee, who is tireless and doing everything that she does. In fact, look, these banners are her creation, incredible. Her name is Miss Beth Adamo of Adamo Creative. We would love to also recognize all of the other parents, not tonight by name, but we will do it as we go down the list of shows. We would like to recognize all of the other parents who are running concessions, who are selling tickets, who are running around getting water, who are running around
ushers, who are
ushering,
putting posters up all around Providence, by the way.
so many things, so very many things, selling ads.
Yeah.
I mean, so many things that are going on that you're seeing happening. This is definitely not a one or two person job, and we couldn't do it without them.
Lastly, say the kids, they're amazing.
You're gonna love these
They're
kids.
amazing.
Yes. And one last thing before we start, just to recognize our wonderful band, Matt the Thirsty Scholars.
The
Yes.
Thirsty Scholars.
Enjoy, and without any further ado,
We welcome you to
Antigone.
Yes, you guys get one. That's me like
Once I built a railroad, made it run, made it race against time. Once I built a railroad, now it's done. Brother, can you spare a dime? Once I built a tower to the sun, brick and live it in lime. Once I built a tower, now it's done. Brother, can you spare a dime? Once in khaki suits, gee, we look swell, full of that Yankee doodle-dee-dum. 500,000 boots slugging through hell, and I was the kid with the drum. Say, don't you remember? They called me out. It was Al all the time.
Ismene, dear sister! For you would think that we had already suffered enough for the curse on Oedipus. I cannot imagine any grief that you and I have not gone through. And now, have they told you the new decree of our King Creon?
I have heard nothing. I know that 2 sisters lost 2 brothers, a double death in a single hour, and I know that the Argive army fled in the night. But beyond this, nothing.
I thought so, and that is why I wanted you to come out here with me. There is something we must do.
Why do you speak so strangely?
Listen, Ismene. Creon buried our brother Eteocles with military honors, gave him a soldier's funeral, and it was right that he should. But Polynices, who fought as bravely and died as miserably, they say Creon has sworn, no one shall bury him, no one mourn for him, but his body must lie in the fields, a sweet treasure for carrion birds to find as they search for food. That is what they say, and our good Creon is coming here to announce it publicly, and the penalty, stoning to death in the public square. There it is, and now you can prove what you are, a true sister or a traitor to your family.
Antigone, you are mad. What could I possibly do?
You must decide whether you will help me or not.
I do not understand you. Help you in what?
Ismene, I'm going to bury him. Will you come?
Bury him? But you have just said that the new law forbids this.
He is my brother, and he is your brother too.
But think of the danger. Think of what Creon will do.
Creon is not strong enough to stand in my way.
Ah, sister, Oedipus died, everyone hating him for what his own search brought to light. His eyes ripped out by his own hand. And Jocasta died, his mother and wife at once. She twisted the cords that strangled her life. And our 2 brothers died, each killed by the other's sword. And we are left. But oh, Antigone, think how much more terrible than these our own death shall be. If we should go against Creon and do what he has forbidden, we are only women. We cannot fight with men, Antigone. The law is strong. We must give in to the law, in this thing and in worse. I beg the dead to forgive me, but I am helpless. I must yield to authority, and I think it dangerous business to be always meddling.
If that is what you think, I should not want you. Even if you ask to come, you have made your choice. You can be what you want to be, but I will bury him. And if I must die, I declare this crime is holy. And I shall lie down with him in death and be as dear to him as he is to me. It is the dead, not the living, who make the longest demands. We die forever. You may do as you like, since apparently the laws of the gods mean nothing to you.
They mean a great deal to me, but I have no strength to break laws meant for the public good.
That must be your excuse, I suppose. As for me, I will bury the brother I love.
Antigone, I am so afraid for you.
You need not be. You have yourself to consider after all.
But no one must hear of this. You must tell no one. I will keep it a secret, I promise.
Oh, tell it! Tell everyone! Think of how they'll hate you when it all comes out, and they learn you knew about it all this time!
So fiery! You should be cold with fear.
Perhaps, but I am doing only what I must.
But can you do it? I say that you cannot.
Very well. When my strength gives out, I shall do no more.
Impossible things shouldn't be tried at all.
Go away, Ismene. I shall be hating you soon, and the dead will too, for your words are hateful. Leave me my foolish plan. I am not afraid of the danger if it means death. It shall not be the worst of deaths. Death without honor.
Go then, if you feel that you must. You are unwise, but a loyal friend indeed to those who love you.
Now, the long blade of sun lying level east to west touches with glory. Thieves of the 7 gates, open, unlettered eye of the golden day, O marching light across the eddy and the rush of Tiresias' stream, striking the white shields of the enemy, thrown headlong backward from the blaze of morning.
When he sees their commander, rouse them with windy phrases. He, the wild eagle, screaming insults above our land.
Move!
His wings their shield of snow, his crest their marshaled helms.
And against our 7 gates in a yawning wing, our famous spears came onward in the night. But before his jaws were stained with our blood, or pinfire took the garland of our towers, he was thrown back. And as he turned, great thieves, no tender victim for his noisy power, rose like a dragon shouting, "War!
Yeah! For God hates utterly the bray of bragging tongues. when he beheld their smiling, their swagger of golden helms. The frown of his thunder blasted the first man from our walls.
We heard a shout of triumph high in the air, turned to a scream far out in the flaming arc. He fell with his windy torch and the earth struck him. And others storming in fury, no less than his found shock of death and the dusty joy of battle.
7 captains at 7 gates yielded their clinging arms to the gods that bends the battle line and breaks it. These 2 only, brothers in blood, face to face in matchless rage, each mirroring each other's death, clashed in long combat.
But now, in the beautiful morning of victory!
Yeah!
Let Thebes of the many chariots sing for joy!
Yeah!
Hearts and dancing will take leave of war!
Yeah!
Our temple shall be sweet with hymns of praise!
Yeah!
And the long night shall echo in our chorus!
And the long night shall echo in our chorus! But at last, our new king is coming, Creon of Thebes, Menece's son. In this auspicious dawn of his reign, what are the new complexities that shifting fate has woven for him? What is his counsel? Why has he summoned the old man to hear him?
Gentlemen, I have the honor to inform you that our ship of state, which recent storms have threatened to destroy, has come safely to harbor at last, guided by the merciful wisdom of heaven. I have summoned you here this morning because I know that I can depend upon you. Your devotion to King Laos was absolute. You never hesitated in your duty to our late King Oedipus, and when Oedipus died, your loyalty was transferred to his children. Unfortunately, as you know, his 2 sons, the princes Ectocles and Polynices, have killed each other in battle, and I, as the next in blood, have succeeded to the full power of the throne.
Yeah!
I am aware, of course, that no ruler can expect complete loyalty from his subjects until he has been tested in office. Nevertheless, I say this to you at the very outset, that I have nothing but contempt for the kind of governor who is afraid, for whatever reason, to follow the course that he knows is best for the state. And as for the man who puts private friendship above the public welfare, I have no use for him either. I call God to witness that if I saw my country headed for ruin, I would not be afraid to speak out plainly. And I need not remind you that I would never have dealings with an enemy of the people. No one values friendship more highly than I, but we must remember that friends made at the risk of wrecking our ship are not real friends at all. These are my principles at any rate, and they are how I have made my decision concerning the sons of Oedipus. Ectocles, who died as a man should die, fighting for his country. Ectocles is to be buried with full military honors, and all the ceremonies due when the greatest heroes die. But Polynices, who broke his exile to come back against his native country with fire and sword, Polynices, I say, is to have no burial. No man shall mourn him or say the least of prayers for him. He will lie on the plain unburied, and the dogs and scavenging birds can do what they like with him. As long as I am king, no traitor will be honored with the loyal man, but whoever shows by word or deed that they are on the side of the state, they shall have my respect when they are living, and my reverence when they are dead.
If that is your will, Creon, son of Meneses, you have the right to enforce it.
This is my will. Take care that you do your part.
We are old men. Let the younger ones carry it out.
I did not mean that. The centuries have been appointed.
Then what is it that you would have us do?
Show no support to whoever breaks this law.
Only a crazy man is in love with death.
And death it is. Yet money talks. And sometimes the wisest have been known to count a few coins too many.
I'll not say that I'm tired from running, King, because every time I stopped to think about what I had to tell you, I felt like going back. And all the time a voice kept saying, "You fool, don't you know you're walking straight into trouble?" And then another voice, "Well, yes, but if you let someone else get the news to Creon first, it'll be even worse than that for you." But good sense won out, at least I hope it was good sense, and here I am with a story that makes no sense at all. But I'll tell it anyhow, because as they say, what's going to happen is going to happen, and...
Come to the point, what have you to say?
I did not do it. I did not see who did it. You must not punish me for what someone else has done.
A comprehensive defense. More effective, perhaps, if I knew its purpose. Come, what is it?
A dreadful thing.
Out with it!
Well then, out there, the dead man, Polyneices. New dust on the slimy flesh. Someone has given it burial that way and gone.
And the man who dared do this?
I swear I do not know. Listen, the ground was dry, not a sign of digging. No, not a wheel track in the dust, no sign of anyone. It was when they relieved us this morning, and one of them, the corporal, pointed to it. The strangest look, the body, just mounded over with light dust. Not buried, really, but as if they'd just covered it enough for the ghost's peace. And no sign of dogs or any wild animal that had been there. And then what a scene there was. Every man of us accusing the other. We all proved that the other man had did it. We all proved that we could not have done it. We were ready to take hot iron in our hands, walk through fire, swear by all the gods. It was not I. I do not know who it was, but it was not I. And then, when this came to nothing, someone said a thing that silenced us and made us look at the ground. You had to be told the news, and one of us had to do it. So we threw the dice, and the bad luck fell on me. And here I am, no happier to be here than you are to have me. Nobody likes the man who brings bad news.
I have been wondering, King. Can it be that the gods have done this?
Stop! Must stuttering wrecks go out of your heads entirely? The gods, intolerable. Sit your senile opinion that the gods love to honor bad men? No, a pious thought. From the very beginning, there have been those who have whispered together, stiff-necked anarchists, putting their heads together, scheming against me in alleys. These are the men, and they have bribed my own guard to do this thing. Money. There's nothing so demoralizing as money. Down go your cities. Hopes gone, men gone, honest hearts corrupted, crookedness of all kinds, and all for money. But you, I swear by God, and by the throne of God, the man who has done this thing shall pay for it. Find that man, bring him here, or your death will be the least of your problems. I'll string you up alive, and there will be certain ways to make you discover your employer before you die. And it may teach you a lesson you seem to have missed, that the dearest profit is sometimes all too dear. That depends on the source. Do you understand me? A fortune won is often misfortune.
King, may I speak?
Your very voice distresses me.
Are you sure that it is my voice and not your conscience?
By God, he wants to analyze me now.
It's not what I say, but what has been done that hurts you.
You talk too much.
Maybe, but I've done nothing.
Sold your soul for some silk. That's all you've done.
How dreadful it is when the right judge judges wrong.
Your figures of speech may entertain you now, but unless you bring me the man, you will get little profit from them in the end.
Bring me the man! I'd like nothing better than bringing him the man, but bring him or not, you've seen the last of me here. At any rate, I am safe.
Numberless are the world's wonders, but none more wonderful than man.
Yeah!
The storm-gray sea yields to his prows.
Yeah!
The huge crest bears him high.
Yeah!
Earth, holy, is inexhaustible as graven, with shining furrows, where his prows have gone, year after year, the endless labor of stallions!
Yeah!
Have you seen the well-to-do up and down Park Avenue on that famous thoroughfare with their noses in the air? High hats and arrow collars, white spats and lots of dollars, spending every dime for a wonderful time. Now if you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits, putting on the Ritz. Different types will wear a day coat, pants with stripes and cutaway coat, perfect fits, putting on the Ritz. Dressed up like $1 million trooper, trying hard to look like Gary Cooper. Super duper, come let's mix where Rockefellers walk with sticks or umbrellas in their mitts, putting on the Ritz.
woman is the Princess Antigone. Why should she be taken?
Here's the one who did it. We caught her in the very act of burying him. Where is Creon?
Just coming from the house.
What has happened? Why have you come back so soon?
O King, a man should never be too sure of anything. I was sure that you'd never see my face here again. Your anger frightened me so, and the things you threatened me with. But how could I tell then that I'd be able to solve the case so soon? No dice throwing this time. I was only too glad to come. Here is the woman. We caught her trying to bury him. Take her then. Question her, judge her as you will. I'm through with the whole thing now and glad of it.
But this is Antigone. Why have you brought her here?
She was burying him, I tell you.
Is this the truth?
I saw her with my own eyes. Can I say more?
The details, come. Tell me quickly.
It was like this. After those terrible threats of yours, King, we walked back and brushed the dust away from the body. The flesh was soft by now and stinking, so we sat on a hill to windward and kept guard. But nothing happened until the white round sun whirled in the round sky over us. Then, suddenly, a storm of dust roared up from the earth, and the sky went out. The plain with all its trees vanished in the stinging dark. We closed our eyes and endured it. The whirlwind lasted a long time, but then it passed, and we looked, and there was Antigone. I have seen a mother bird come back to a stripped nest, heard her crying bitterly a broken note or two for the young one stolen. Just so, when this girl found the bare corpse and all her love's work wasted, she wept and cried on heaven to damn the hands that had done this thing. And then, she brought more dust and sprinkled wine 3 times for her brother's ghost. We ran and took her at once. She was not afraid, not even when we charged her with what she had done. She denied nothing. And this was a comfort to me and some uneasiness, for it is a good thing to escape from death, but it is no great pleasure to bring death to a friend. Yet, I always say there is nothing so comfortable as your own safe skin.
And you, Antigone? You with your head hanging? Do you confess this thing?
I do. I deny nothing.
You may go. Tell me briefly, had you heard my proclamation touching this matter?
It was public. Could I help hearing it?
And yet you dared defy the law?
I dared. It was not God's proclamation. That final justice that rules the world below makes no such laws. Your edict, King, was strong, but all your strength was weakness itself against the immortal, unrecorded laws of God. They are not merely now, they were and shall be operative forever, beyond man utterly. I knew I must die, even without your decree. I am only mortal, and if I must die now, before it is my time to die, surely this is no hardship. Can anyone, living as I live, with evil all about me, think death less than a friend? This death of mine is of no importance, but if I had left my brother lying in death unburied, I should have suffered. Now I do not. You smile at me. Ah, Creon. Creon, think me a fool if you like, but it may well be that a fool convicts me of folly.
Like father, like daughter, both headstrong and deaf to reason, she has never learned to yield.
She has much to learn. The inflexible heart breaks first, the toughest iron cracks first, and the wildest horses bend their necks at the pull of the smallest curb. Pride in a slave? This girl is guilty of a double insolence, breaking the given laws and boasting of it. Who is the man here, she or I, if this crime goes unpunished? Sister's child, or more than sister's child. She and her sister win bitter death for this. Go, some of you, arrest Ismene. Bring her. You will find her sniffling in the house there. Her mind's a traitor. Crimes kept in the dark. Cry for light and the guardian brain shudders. But how much worse than this is brazen boasting of bare-faced anarchy.
Creon, what more do you want than my death?
Nothing. That gives me everything.
Then I beg you, kill me. This talking is a great weariness. Your words are distasteful to me, and I am sure that mine seem so to you. Yet they should not seem so. I should have praise and honor for what I have done. All these men here would praise me, with their lips not frozen shut with fear for you. Ah, the good fortune of kings, licensed to do and say whatever they please.
You are alone here in that opinion.
No, they are with me, but they keep their tongues in leash.
Maybe, but you are guilty, and they are not.
There is no guilt in reverence for the dead.
But Ectocles, was he not your brother too?
My brother too.
And you insult his memory?
The dead man would not say that I insult it.
He would, for you honor a traitor as much as him.
His own brother, traitor or not, an equal in blood.
He made war on his country, Ectocles defended it.
Nevertheless, there are honors due all the dead.
Not the same for the wicked as for the just.
Ah, Creon, which of us can say what the gods hold wicked?
An enemy is an enemy, even dead.
It is my nature to join in love, not hate.
Go! If you must find your love, find it in hell!
But see, Ismene comes. Those tears are sisterly. The cloud that shadows her eyes rain down gentle sorrow.
And you, Antigone, snake in my ordered house, sucking my blood stealthily. And all this time, I never knew that these sisters were aiming at my throne. Ismene, do you confess your share in this crime or deny it? Answer me!
Yes! If she will let me say so, I am guilty.
No, Ismene, you have no right to say so. You would not help me, and I will not have you help me.
But now I know what you meant. And I am here to join you, to take my share of punishment.
The dead man and the gods who ruled the dead know whose act this was. Words are not friends.
Do you refuse me, Antigone? I want to die with you. I too have a duty that I must discharge to the dead.
You shall not lessen my death by sharing it.
What do I care for life when you are dead?
Ask Creon, you're always hanging on his opinions.
You are laughing at me. Why, Antigone?
It's a joyless laughter, Ismene.
But can I do nothing?
Yes, save yourself. I shall not envy you. There will be those who will praise you. I shall have honor too.
But we are equally guilty.
No more, Ismene. You are alive, but I belong to death.
Gentlemen, I beg you, observe these girls. One, it seems, just recently lost her mind. The other, it seems, never had a mind at all.
Grief teaches the steadiest minds to waver, king.
Yours surely did when you assumed guilt with the guilty.
But how could I go on living without her?
You are. She is already dead.
But your own son's bride.
There are places enough for him to push his plow. I want no wicked women for my sons.
Oh, dearest Haemon, how your father wrongs you.
I've had enough of your childish talk of marriage.
Do you really intend to steal this girl from your son?
No, death will do that for me.
Then she must die?
You dazzle me. But enough of this talk. You there, take them away and guard them well, for they are but women, and even brave men run when they see death coming.
Fortunate is the man who has never tasted God's vengeance. Once the anger of heaven has struck, that house is shaken. Forever damnation rises behind each child like a wave pressing over the northeast. When the long darkness undersea roars up and bursts, drumming death upon the wind-whipped sand.
I've got to keep moving. I've got to keep moving. Blues falling down like hell. 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 And the days keep on reminding me there's a hellhound on my trail. Hellhound on my trail. Hellhound on my trail. If today was Christmas Eve, if today was Christmas Eve, and tomorrow was Christmas Day. If today was Christmas Eve, and tomorrow was Christmas Day. Ah, wouldn't we have a time, baby? All I would need is my little sweet rider to pass the time away, to pass the time away. You sprinkle hot foot powder all around my door, all around Sprinkles hot for powder all around your daddy's door. Oh, that little sweet rider. Every old place I go, every old place I go. But here is Haemon, king, the last of all your sons. Is it grief for Antigone that brings him here, and bitterness of being robbed of his bride?
We shall soon see, and no need of diviners. Son, you have heard my final judgment on that girl. Have you come here hating me, or have you come with deference and with love, whatever I do?
Son, father, I am your son. You are my guide. You make things clear to me, and I obey you. No marriage means more to me than your continuing wisdom.
Good. That is the way to behave, subordinate. Everything else, my son, to your father's will. This is what a man prays for, that he may have sons attentive and dutiful in his house, hating his father's enemies, honoring his father's friends. But if his sons turn out unprofitably, then what has he fathered but trouble for himself and amusement for the malicious? So you are right not to lose your head over this woman. Your pleasure with her would soon grow cold, Haemon, and then you'd have a hellcat in bed and elsewhere. Let her find her husband in hell! Of all the people in this city, only she has had contempt for my law and broken it. Do you want me to show myself weak before the people? To break my sworn word? No, and I will not. The woman dies. I suppose she'll plead family ties. We'll let her. If I permit my own family to rebel, how shall I earn the world's obedience? Show me the man who keeps his house in hand. He's fit for public authority. No matter how fast the spears come, he'll stick it out. He's a good soldier. Anarchy. Anarchy! Show me a greater evil. This is why cities tumble and the great houses rain down. This is what scatters armies. No, good lives are made so by discipline. We must keep the laws and the lawmakers so, and no woman shall seduce us. If we must lose, let's lose to a man at least. Is a woman stronger than we?
Unless time has rusted my wits. What you say, king, is said with points and dignity.
Father, reason is God's crowning gift to man, and you are right to warn me against losing mine. I cannot say, I hope I shall never want to say, that you have reasoned badly. Yet there are others who can reason too, and their opinions may be helpful. You are not in a position to know everything people say or what they do, or what they feel. Your temper terrifies them. Everyone will tell you only what you like to hear. But I, at any rate, can listen, and I have heard them muttering and whispering in the dark about this girl. They say no woman has ever so unreasonably died so shameful a death for a generous act. She covered her brother's body. Is this indecent? She kept him from the dogs and vultures. Is this a crime? Death? She should have all the honor we can give her. This is the way they talk out there in the city. Ah! You must believe me. Nothing is closer to me than your happiness. What could be closer? Must not any son value his father's fortune as his father does his? I beg of you, do not be unchangeable. Do not believe that you alone can be right. The man who thinks that, who maintains that only he has the power to reason correctly, the gift to speak, the soul, a man like that, when you know him, turns out empty. It is not reason never to yield to reason. In flood time, you can see how some trees bend, and because they bend, even their twigs are safe, while stubborn trees are torn up, roots and all. Same in sailing. Make your sheet fast, never slacken, and head over heels you go and under. There's your voyage. I know I am young, and forget you are angry. I admit the ideal condition would be that men are right by instinct. But since we are all too likely to go astray, the least we can do is to learn from those who can teach.
You will do well to listen to him, King. But what if he says it's sensible? And you, Haemon, must listen to your father. Both speak well.
You consider it right for a man of my years and experience to go to school to a boy?
It is not right if I am wrong, but if I am young and right, what does my age matter?
You think it right to stand up for an anarchist?
Not at all. I pay no respect to criminals.
Then she is not a criminal?
This city would deny it to a man.
And this city proposes to teach me how to rule?
Ah, who is it that's talking like a boy now?
My voice is the one voice giving orders in this city.
It's no city if it takes orders from one voice.
The state is king.
Yes, if the state is a desert.
This boy, it seems, has sold out to a woman.
If you are a woman, my concern is only for you.
So, your concern in a public brawl with your father?
How about you in a public brawl with justice?
With justice, when all that I do is within my rights?
You have no right to trample on God's right.
Fool! Adolescent fool! Taken in by a woman?
You'll never see me taken in by anything vile.
Every word you say is for her.
And for you. And for me. And for the gods under this earth.
You'll never marry her while she lives.
Then she must die. But her death will cause another.
Another? Have you lost your senses? Is that an open threat?
There is no threat in speaking to emptiness.
I swear you'll regret the superior tone of yours. You are the empty one.
If you were not my father, I'd say you were perverse.
Yo, watch it! I swear you shall! Bring her out! Bring the woman out! Let her die before his eyes with her bridegroom beside her!
No! Not here! No, she will not die here, King, and you will never see my face again! Go on raving as long as you are friend to endure!
Gone! Gone! Creon, a young man in rage is dangerous.
Let him do or dream to do what man cannot do. He will not save these girls from death.
These girls? You have sentenced them both?
No, you are right. I will not kill the one whose hands are clean.
But Antigone,
I will carry her far away into the wilderness and lock her living in a vault of stone. And she will be given food as custom is to absolve the state of her death. And she may pray to the gods of hell. They are her only gods. Perhaps they will show her an escape from death. Or she may learn, though late, that piety shown the dead is pity in vain.
Love unconquerable, waster of rich men, keeper of warm lights and all-night vigil. In the soft face of a girl, see wander, forest visitor. Even the pure immortals cannot escape you. And mortal man in his one day's dust trembles before your glory. My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile in my heart. Your looks are laughable, photographable. My favorite work of art is your figure less than green. Is your mouth a little weak when you open it to speak? Are you smart? Don't change your hair for me. A girl's glance working the will of heaven. Pleasure to her alone who mocks us. Merciless Aphrodite. Don't change your hair for me. Not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine, stay. Each day is Valentine's Day.
But I can no longer stand in awe of this, nor seeing what I see, keep back my tears. Here is Antigone, passing to that chamber, where all find sleep at last.
Look upon me, friends, and pity me, turning back at the night's edge to say goodbye to the sun that shines for me no longer. Now sleepy death summons me down to Archeron, that cold shore. There is no bride song there, nor any music.
Yet not unpraised. Now without a kind of honor, you walk at last into the underworld. Untouched by sickness, broken by no sword. What woman has ever found your way to death?
Antigone!
How often have I heard the story of Niobe, Tantalus' wretched daughter, and how the stone clung fast about her, ivy close. They say the rain falls endlessly, and the sifting soft snow, her tears are never done. I feel the loneliness of her death in mine.
But she was born of heaven, and you are woman. Woman born. If her death is yours, a mortal woman, is this not for you? Glory in our world and in the world beyond?
Psha!
You laugh at me. Oh, friends, can you not wait until I am dead? O Thebes, O men many charioted, in love with fortune, dear springs of Dirce, sacred Theban grove, be witness to me. Denied all pity, and think a word of love for her whose path turns under dark earth, where there are no more tears.
You have passed beyond human daring, and come at last into a place of stone, where justice sits. I cannot tell what shape of your father's guilt appears in this.
You have touched it at last, that bridal bed, unspeakable horror of son and mother mingling, their crime infection of all our family. O Oedipus, father and brother, your marriage strikes from the grave to murder mine. I have been a stranger here in my own land all my life. The blasphemy of my birth has followed me.
Reverence is a virtue, but strength lives in established law that must prevail. You have made your choice. Your death is the doing of your own conscious hand.
Then let me go, since all of your words are bitter, and the very light of the sun is cold to me. Lead me to my vigil, where I must have neither love nor lamentation. No song, but silence.
If dirges and planned lamentations could put off death, men would be singing forever. Take her. Go. You know your orders. Take her to the vault and leave her there. If she lives or dies, that's her affair. Our hands are clean.
O tomb, vaulted bride bed in eternal rock, soon I shall be with my own again, where Persephone welcomes thin ghosts underground. With you, mother, and father, and dearest Polynices, dearest indeed, since it was my hands who washed him clean and poured the ritual wine. And yet, as men's hearts know, I have done no wrong. I have not sinned before God, or if I have, I shall know the truth in death. But if the guilt lies upon Creon, who judged me, then I pray, may his punishment equal my own.
O passionate heart, unyielding, tormented still by the same winds.
Her guards will have good cause to regret their delaying.
Ah, that voice is like the voice of death.
I can give you no reason to think you are mistaken.
Thebes, and you my father's gods and rules of Thebes, you see me now, the last unhappy daughter in a line of kings. Your kings led away to death. You will know what things I suffer and at what men's hands, because I would not transgress the laws of heaven. Come, let us wait no longer.
All of Danae's beauty was locked away in a brazen cell where sunlight could not reach her. A small room, as still as any grave, enclosed her, yet she was a princess too. And Zeus, in a rain of gold, poured love down upon her. Oh child, child, for there is no power in wealth or war, or tough, sea-blackened ships can prevail against untiring destiny.
Saturday night I got married. Me and my wife settled down. Now me and my wife have parted. I think I'll take another stroll around town. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Sometimes I live in the country. Sometimes I live in town. Sometimes I take a great notion for to jump in the river and drown. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Stop your rambling. Stop your gambling. Stop staying out late at night. Go home to your wife and family and stay by the fireside bright. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams.
She raced young colts on the glimmering hills and walked untrammeled in the open light. But in her marriage, deathless fate found means to build a tomb like yours for all her joy.
This is the way the blind man comes. Princes, princes, lockstep, two heads lit by the eyes of one.
What new thing have you to tell us, old Tiresias?
I have much to tell you. Listen to the prophet, Creon.
I am not aware that I have ever failed to listen.
But you have done well, king, and ruled wisely.
I admit my debt to you. But come, what have you to say?
This, Creon, you stand once more on the edge of fate.
What do you mean? Your words are a kind of dread.
Listen, Creon. I was sitting in my chair of augury, at the place where the birds gather about me. They were all a chatter, as is their habit, when suddenly I heard a strange note in their jangling, a scream, a whirring fury, and I knew then that they were fighting, tearing each other, dying in a whirlwind of wings clashing, and I was afraid. I began the rites of burnt offering at the altar, but Hephaestus failed me. Instead of bright flame, there was only the sputtering of the fat thigh flesh melting, the entrails dissolved in gray smoke, the bare bone burst from the welter, and still no blaze. This was a sign from heaven. My child described it, seeing for me as I see for others. I tell you, Creon, you yourself have brought this new calamity upon us. Our halls and altars are stained with the corruption of dogs and carrion birds that glut themselves on the corpse of Oedipus' son. All men make mistakes, but a good man yields when he knows his course is wrong and repairs the evil. The only crime is pride. Give in to the dead man, then. Do not fight with a corpse. What glory is it to kill a man who is already dead? Think, I beg you. It is for your own good that I speak as I do. You should be able to yield for your own good.
All my life, I've been kind of butt for the dull arrows of doddering fortune tellers. No, Tiresias, if your birds, if the great eagles of God himself carried him stinking bit by bit to heaven, I would not yield. I'm not afraid of pollution. No man can defile the gods. Go into business. Make money. Speculate in India gold or that fake synthetic gold from Sardis. Make money otherwise than by my consent to bury him. Tiresias, it is a sorry thing when a wise man sells his wisdom, lets out his words for hire.
Ah, Creon, is there no man left in the world?
To do what? Let's have the aphorism.
No man who knows that wisdom outweighs any wealth.
As surely as bribes are baser than any baseness.
You are sick, Creon. You are deathly sick.
As you say, it is not my place to challenge your prophet.
Yet you have said that my prophecy is for sale.
The generation of prophets have always loved gold.
The generation of kings have always loved brass.
You forget yourself. You are speaking to your king.
I know it. You are king because of me.
I admit you have a certain skill, but you have sold out.
King, you will drive me to words that you...
Say them. Only remember, I will not pay you for them.
No. You will find them too costly.
No doubt. Speak. Whatever you say, you will not change my will.
Then take this, and take it to heart. The time's not far off, where you shall pay back. Corpse for corpse, flesh for your own flesh. You have thrust the child of this world into living night. You have kept from the gods below the child that is theirs. This is your crime, Creon, and the Furies and the dark gods of hell are swift with terrible punishment for you. You want to buy me now, Creon? Not many days, and your house will be full of men and women weeping, and curses will be hurled at you from far cities grieving for sons unburied, left to rot before the walls of Thebes. These are my arrows, Creon, and they are all for you. But come, child, lead me home. Maybe at last he will learn to control a wiser tongue and a better head. Woo!
The old man has gone, King, but his words remain to plague us. I am old too, but I cannot remember that he was ever false.
It is true. It troubles me. It is hard to give in, but it is worse to risk everything for stubborn pride.
Creon, take my advice.
What shall I do?
Go quickly. Free Antigone from her bolts and build a tomb for the body of Polyneices.
You would have me do this?
Creon, yes, and this must be done at once, for God moves swiftly to get to the folly of stubborn men.
It's hard to deny the heart, but I will go. I will not fight with destiny.
You must go yourself. You cannot leave this to others.
I will go. Come, bring axes, servants. I will release Antigone from her tomb. But come, quickly, my mind misgives.
O Icus of Thebes, heaven...
God of many names!
Icus, son of Cadmane Simile, born of the thunder, guardian of the west, regent of Ulysses' plan, O prince of Maenad Thebes, and the dragon fields of rippling Ismenos.
God of many names!
The flame of torches flares on her hills, and the nymphs of Icus dance on the spring of Castalia. Come, come in ivy. Iobe, sings through the streets of Thebes.
God of many names!
Icus of Thebes, heavenly child of Simile, bride of the thunder. The shadow of plague is upon us. O come with clement feet, O come from Paranosos, down the long slopes and across the lamenting water.
Io fire, chorister of the throbbing stars, O purest among the voices of the night, thou son of God, blaze for us.
Come, with choric rapture of circling Maenads who cry, Io Iake, God of many names.
Descendants of the line of Cadmos, you who live near Amphion Citadel, I cannot say of any condition of human life, this is fixed, this is clearly good or bad. Fate raises up, and fate casts down the happy and unhappy alike. No man can foretell his fate. Take the case of Creon. Creon was happy once, as I count happiness, victorious in battle, sole governor of land, fortunate father of children nobly born. But now, it is all gone from him. Who can say that a man is still alive when his life's joy fails? He is a walking dead man. Grant him rich, let him live like a king in his great house. If the pleasure is gone, I would not give a shadow of smoke for all that he owns.
Your words hint at sorrow. What is your news for us?
They are dead. The living are guilty of their death.
Who is guilty? Who is dead? Speak!
Haemon! Haemon is dead, and the hand that killed him is his own.
His father's or his own?
His own! Driven mad by the murder his father had done.
Tiresias! How clearly you saw it all!
This is my news. You must draw what conclusions you can from it.
But Eurydice, our queen, has she overheard us?
I have heard something, friends. As I was unlocking the gate of Pallas's shrine, for I needed her help today, there was a voice telling of some new sorrow, and I fainted, there at the temple with all my maidens about me. But speak again. Whatever it is, I can bear it. Grief and I are no strangers.
Dearest lady, I will tell you plainly all that I have seen. I shall not try and comfort you. What is the use, since comfort could lie only in what is not true? The truth is always best. I went with Creon to where Polynices was lying. No friend to pity him. His body shredded by dogs. We made our prayers in this place to Hecate and Pluto, that they would be merciful. And we bathed the corpse in holy water, and we brought fresh broken branches to burn what was left of it. And upon the urn, we heaped up a towering barrow of the earth of his land. When we were done, we ran to the vault, where Antigone lay on her couch of stone. One of the servants had gone ahead, and while he was yet far off, he heard a voice grieving within the chamber, and came back and told Creon. As the king went closer, the air was full of wailing, the words lost, and he begged us all to make haste. Am I a prophet? He said, weeping. And must I walk this path, the saddest of all that I have gone before? My son's voice calls me on. Oh, quickly, quickly, look through the crevice there, and tell me if it is Haemon or some deception of the gods. We obeyed, and in the cavern's farthest corner, we saw her lying. She had made a noose of her fine linen veil and hanged herself. Haemon lay beside her, his arms about her waist, lamenting her, his love lost underground, crying out that his father had taken her away from him. When Creon saw him, the tears rushed to his eyes and he called to him, "What have you done, child? Speak to me. What are you thinking that makes your eyes so strange? Oh, my son, I come to you on my knees." But Haemon spat in his face. He said nothing, staring, and suddenly drew out his sword and lunged. Creon shrank back, the blade missed, and the boy, desperate against himself, drove it half its length into his own side and fell. And as he died, he gathered Antigone close in his arms again. And now he lies dead with the dead, and she is his once more, his bride in the houses of the dead.
She has left us without a word. What can this mean?
It troubles me too, but she knows what is best. Doubtless she is weeping in her chambers for her sons and for Haemon, leading her maidens in his dirge.
It may be so, but I fear this deep silence.
I will see what she is doing. I will go in.
Nothing you can say can touch me anymore. My own blind heart has brought me from darkness to final darkness. Here you see the father murdering the murdered son, and all my civic wisdom. Haemon, my son, so young to die. I was the fool, not you, and you died for me.
That is the truth, but you were late learning it.
The truth is hard to bear. Surely a god has crushed me under the hugest weight in heaven and driven me headlong a barbaric way to crush the thing that I held most dear. Pains that men will take to come to pain.
The burden you carry in your hands is heavy, but that is not all, for you shall find more in your house.
What burden worse than this shall I find there?
The queen is dead!
O port of death, deaf world, is there no pity for me? And you, angel of evil, I was dead, and your words are death again. Is it true, girl? Can it be true? Is my wife dead? Has death bred death?
You can see for yourself.
Oh, pity, all true, and more than I can bear. Oh, my wife, my son.
She stood by the altar, and her heart welcomed the knife that her own hand guided. And a cry burst from her lips for Megaris, and for Haemon, and for her sons. And her last breath was a curse for their father, the murderer of her sons. And she died, and death crept in through closing eyes.
Oh, pity. Are there no swords here? Has no one a blow for me?
Her curse is upon you for the deaths of both.
It is right that it should be. I know it, and I say it. Lead me in. Quickly, friends. I have neither life nor substance. Lead me in.
You are right, if there can be right in so much wrong. The briefest way is best in a world of sorrow.
Let it come. Let death come quickly. And be kind to me. I would not ever see the sun again.
All will come when it will, but we, meanwhile, have much to do. Leave the future to itself.
Lead me away. I have been rash and foolish. I have killed my son and my wife. I look for comfort. My comfort lies here dead. Everything my hands have touched has come to nothing. Fate has brought my pride to a thought of dust.
is no happiness where there is no wisdom. No wisdom, but in submission to the gods. Big words are always punished, and proud men in old age learn to be wise.